morning and welcome to Living Local 15. I'm your host, Jessica Williams. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's time to grab a cup of joe and enjoy the show. It's Thursday, so we are kicking the show off with another edition of Mental Health Matters with Viking Psychiatry. And today we are discussing the use of AI with mental health services and some concerns to be aware of. Then we are chatting with Paul Davis about their services and why they are the ones to call when a natural disaster or home emergency happens. And later, it's time for epic discounts at epic prices. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
This segment sponsored by Viking Psychiatry. Welcome back to Mental Health Matters with Viking Psychiatry, and today I am joined by their owner, Sean Goddard. Hello, Sean. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you. Okay, so today we have an interesting topic. We're going to be discussing mental health and AI. AI is something that is really on the rise.
Absolutely.
People are using it for everything. And it is an interesting question if you feel that AI has an impact on mental health or mental health services.
Absolutely does. I think that what we've seen is that AI has really exploded in the past year or two, and there are now apps that are available to assist people in tracking, for example, mood, right? You know, we can be used to going to see a provider and they ask you to fill out, you know, those questions. Are you depressed? Are you feeling low? Right? And those can be handy, but some of the things that we've seen with AI is where it's tracking through your algorithms, right? Through your smartwatch and your heart rate and your stress levels, and then maybe asking you questions, being able to rate and track how you're feeling and what your mood's like. And so there are definitely benefits to using AI, especially on a personal side in tracking your own mood and maybe getting a little bit of awareness that your energy is low and you need to do something to help that. Or maybe it's saying, you know, you've really been struggling here for weeks now. Maybe it's time to see your therapist again or go back and see your provider to talk about the medication you're on, or maybe you just need to take that initial first step to get some help. So,
Okay. And when people either use these systems that you're talking about to track their mood, or maybe they're using one of those chat programs to have interactions or conversations with AI, do people feel or kind of lean like it replaces real therapy?
yeah, it's a great question. And, you know, there are even apps now out there available for supposed AI therapy. Do I support that? I don't. You know, I was reading an example, and I think it was designed to be a joking type meme, but it was an interaction with a individual and ChatGPT, and they told ChatGPT, well, I finally made the decision. I cut myself off from my family completely. I told them enough was enough. I know they're responsible for the voices that are coming through the walls and responsible for the aliens coming over my house. And so I made the decision and I cut them off. And ChatGPT said, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you taking a step for yourself and standing up for yourself and doing that. And understand that in this, you're not alone. I'm here for you. And obviously in this example, you have an individual who believes that voices are coming through the walls and aliens are overhead, right? And instead of ChatGPT saying there's something wrong with this, right? Let's talk about this. ChatGPT says instead, well, good on you for separating from your family, right? And you're not alone. I'm here for you, right? And so while, you know, I use ChatGPT all the time, and it can be very helpful. And if I'm looking for, I used it the other night for a recipe, and ChatGPT gave me an amazing recipe for some cookies. But when it comes to helping me with my mental health and providing true therapy, I don't think we're at that level, and I don't think a computer could ever replace the benefits that a professionally trained therapists can provide.
Right, exactly. Yeah, those human interactions and being able to identify possible issues and red flags are important and a part of therapy. And so what about the ethical or privacy levels when it comes to it? Because people share a lot of information online and sometimes through those apps. So are they even protected?
Yeah, a lot of times we're not. We feel a great sense of protection with a lot of things that we do. And I was actually having this conversation with a couple of people the other day. You know, when you sign up for Netflix, you agree to those terms and conditions, right? We are so quick to just sign off on terms and conditions for everything. Even when you open up an email address, you sign off on terms and conditions. And what we find is that your information is often being tracked in many ways, right? And so the information that you're providing is not always as protected as we feel or we think it should be. So I always advise people to use care and caution. You know, an example I give of how often have you been sitting there and having a conversation with somebody about something, and then you open up one of your social media apps on your phone, and all of a sudden it has an ad about what you were just talking about with somebody, right?
Listen, Sean, that is so creepy when that happens. I mean, it's so creepy.
And it happens all the time, right? All the time. It's probably going to pull up something for you after this segment, right? But so that's just an example that I use, that you have to use caution if you don't want your information being shared, and not necessarily shared with people around you, but shared with businesses in the local community, right? Or for advertising or selling purposes, and all of those types of things. So always use caution.
Right. Okay. So those are some of the cautionary areas when it comes to AI and mental health. But is there a role in mental health or in mental health therapy when it comes to AI that is positive, or something that can actually work out systematically?
Yeah, I think that you're going to see continued involvement and advancements in individualized AI. Like, you know, when you use something massive like ChatGPT, I think there's a little bit more risk there. But when you have companies that are segmenting AI specifically for mental health and building in additional protections for HIPAA and those types of things, I think you're going to see it. This isn't in mental health, but for example, they're using AI in radiology for reading CTs and X-rays, and they're finding that there's a significant increase in the amount of things that are being caught or diagnosed correctly through the use of AI, and reducing the amount of time that the physician has to sit there reading that CT or an MRI, right? And so I think you're going to see that AI is going to become more and more integrated into medical care. And when it comes to mental health, I would hope that it's not going to be so much on the therapeutic approach, but maybe more on the support approach. For example, AI supportive and listening and helping with documentation, right? So that providers complain all the time that we spend more time staring at the computer and typing responses and clicking boxes instead of being able to look at our client right in front of us. And so I think you'll see ways that comes about. And I think there will be more apps available and integrated to help with mood tracking and boosting, and you know, and it doesn't hurt when you're feeling a little bit down if somebody notices, right? And if it happens to be the AI app that's integrated and says, hey, you're feeling a little down, right? Do we need to talk about that, or do you need to talk to somebody about what's going on to help you kind of focus in on what's going on and being able to unload some of that burden?
You said that's something that through the apps. What is it? How, I guess I'm curious as to how a little monitor could know your mood. Is it based on like your heart rate, your pulse? I mean, I'm trying to think of what all they can get from a little dial on your wrist.
Yeah, so it's funny. Today I'm not wearing my wedding ring. I'm wearing this ring. And this ring, I won't say the brand name, but it's tracking all of my biometrics. So it's tracking my respiratory rate, my heart rate, my HRV. There's so many different biometrics that can be tracked now. And this ring will actually send a notification through my app and say, hey, your heart rate's been elevated, you appeared stressed. Maybe it's you need to take a break, take a breather, right? And helping me recognize that I am feeling stress, and okay, maybe I need to shut my door, shut everything off, and do 10 minutes of breathing or whatever, right? And so it uses algorithms like that, and through the use of AI, to be able to recognize those types of things. And so I think that's kind of what you'll see. There's more advancement on that.
Awesome. Very informative. Thank you so much, Sean.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me again.
And if you would like more information about Viking Psychiatry, we'll have their website listed below to learn more about their services and to book an appointment. And I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Viking Psychiatry.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
This segment sponsored by Paul Davis. When disaster strikes and you need a cleanup, you can call Paul Davis, your local property restoration experts. And joining me today to share more about their services and preventative maintenance is Adam Myers, their restoration project manager. Hello.
How are we doing
Welcome.
today? Yes, thank you.
Yes, good to see you. Okay, so I know that you all are like the save the day folks, right?
Of course, yes, we try to be anytime we can.
Right. And I always find it fascinating when I learn about your company, because I think that when you think about a disaster, you don't naturally think about, well, who can you call to help clean it up? And this includes commercial and residential, right?
Absolutely.
So let's dive into just an overview of Paul Davis in case someone isn't familiar.
Sure. We always come up with an issue at our home and we go who, where, and what. You know, our agent is a good form to reach out to and say, hey, who helps, or Google a lot of times. But of course, hoping here I can describe some of that. You know, if you have a water heater that blew up on you over the weekend, or hey, we had a big storm, and hey, I've got water in my carpet, I don't know what's going on. We try to be that company to assist, advise, and then lead into any repair work, any mitigation as we call, or cleanup work that may be needed at your property.
Right, yes. And so how do you work in conjunction with the insurance? Because I think that's what sometimes the first thought would be, is like, well, do I call my insurance first or do I call you all first? Because let's be clear, when a disaster happens, you need something quick.
Yes, you do. It is. The quicker you can make a phone call, the quicker you can get in touch with us. We do all the documentation. We estimate in the same, like what we call software that the insurance companies do, but we are your contractor. So we do all the photos and all the paperwork and things that are needed, that then once you do get in contact with your insurance company, we can submit all that for you. We may not have all the answers, and we might tell you, hey, talk to your agent. Or when you get in contact with an adjuster, then they will answer those questions. We can tell you the typical scenarios. But yes, immediacy is really what you're needing, especially when it's a Saturday night at 2 a.m. or something, you know, that you don't know who to call. We do always say, of course, call us first. We will start that mitigation process. And that's a term that insurance companies really always come back to. Hey, mitigate from further damages. And that's what we're there to help you with in that time of need. So give us a call and we'll tell you, hey, this is a situation that's really covered by insurance, or hey, this is probably not covered by insurance. Let us come in and mitigate as much as we can, and then we'll give you options. Let's give you an estimate. And then you can say, hey, I can't afford that, or I want to go a different way. We'll help and partner with you in all those situations.
Yeah, okay, that's good, because I'm pretty sure that, like you said, the mitigation with the insurance, they want to have to cover less damages. And if you let some of these disasters continue, especially if it's like a busted water pipe, or like you said, a water heater, then that's going to continuously damage your property. So you're saying call immediately, have y'all stop the issue, and then you also do other things, providing documentation that could support the insurance claim.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, that totally makes sense. Okay, so in the event, so that's what happens when a disaster happens. So now let's talk about how we can possibly stop a disaster from happening.
Absolutely.
So what would you say is just the first step when it comes to mitigating or preventing water loss at your home?
Well, there's two parts. I always kind of say you close up in the fall, but you open up in the spring. So we're, of course, in that springtime. I'll start from the outside in. Right now, we've had some heavy rains already this year. You know, in the fall, we say clean our gutters. Even in the spring, whatever's gotten in there, gutters your first line of defense to your home. And then where that water is going. Sometimes we have perimeter tiles around our home, and that helps vacate the water from our homes. But there can sometimes be landscaping buildup. You're supposed to have 4 to 6 inches from the bottom of, like, whether you have brick and stone or whatever your facade is around your house. But over the years, we can get buildup of landscaping, shrubbery, things of that nature. And when that builds up and we have our terrible storms that we've had recently, then that water can get into the home. And we don't want that. So you can work with your landscaper, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, you want that water to get away from your home as quickly as possible. But then when we move onto the inside, we have an appliance, of course, we have that water heater. We want that hot water, at night or whenever when we turn it on, but we don't open a closet and we don't take a look at it. So a water heater is a big one. You just put your eyes on different things in the home. Sometimes we don't even open the cupboard doors to our kitchen. So putting eyes on things and seeing, it's like, oh, if that's wet, we might have a problem. It's not going to go away. It's not magic. It's, hey, call somebody. I always say it's easier to plan than it is to be on an emergency. So you can plan and get quotes if, hey, I think this is a problem. Let's get a quote on a water heater. The other one is sump pumps. Sump pumps are a big thing that we see definitely this time of year, especially with a lot of water. They become inundated. They're working extra hard trying to get the water out.
Now, what are sump pumps?
Yeah, so we have a lot of times in our territory, some people have moved from different parts of the country, and that's a great question because they don't know. They're like, hey, I've been in Florida or in Michigan, we don't have these things.
Yeah.
But it's a below grade type of a device that removes water from a lot of times our basements, because we have a lot of basements in this area. And you can even on a slab sometimes have a sump pump, and you may not know. It might just have a black plastic lid over it and go, what is this? But you'll see a lot of times PVC pipe, and sometimes people have backup batteries, and they're good to check out. And really the biggest thing is if you don't know, feel free to reach out to us and we'll come out and advise you. And it's always an opportunity for us to provide a quote. It's business. So we can come out and say, hey, this is what I'd advise, get with so-and-so if it's not something that we can handle, or give you opportunities. Because sump pumps are really, we have a lot of times sump pump coverage, and get with your agent, your local insurance agent, and make sure that you have the proper coverages for contents and sump pump coverage, because that's a whole separate thing. And sometimes mostly what we see with folks is that they don't have enough coverage when they do go out. And so you have a deductible. One of my biggest advices is if you don't know the last time it's been replaced, it's much cheaper to replace a sump pump than it is to pay your deductible and all the damage that goes along with it. And especially if you don't remember, a lot of times 10 years is a good life on some of these appliances. And some people, they've lasted for 30. If they've been in that long, there's a possibility of failure. And with failure, then you get those kind of disasters. So that's where I just always say err on the side of caution. If you don't know, reach out to a plumber, reach out to us. We'll advise you, walk you through those steps. And that's where I say you can plan and look at, okay, this may be something I didn't want to spend right now on my budget, but it's better to take care of it before it becomes an issue and ruins, family keepsakes or things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think about the same thing that applies on the medical side of things, where prevention is better than a cure. And so we have to be preventative. And like you said, just have your eyes open and take a look as you examine your home. Okay, well, thank you so much, Adam, for chatting with me and providing that great advice today.
Yes, thank you.
And if you would like more information about Paul Davis, we'll have their website listed below. This definitely sounds like a company that you want to go ahead and save in your phone, because you never know when an emergency may happen and you need to give them a call. And I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Paul Davis.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group.
Welcome to Epic Discounts by BestReviews.com. I'm Melissa Bergamini.
And I'm Jacob Palmer.
Be sure to take out your phone and scan the QR code on your screen so you can save on some amazing products. First up, let's beat the heat with the Dreo Tower fan. So if you're looking for a powerful yet quiet cooling fan this summer, this is a must-have.
I think people are gonna love it, Alyssa, because it features a sleek, modern design. It will go perfectly in any room, and its advanced air circulation system ensures your space stays cool and comfortable. With 3 different speeds and an oscillating feature, and even a sleep mode, you can customize the airflow exactly how you want it.
Oh, I like that sleep mode option there. Next, we have the Philips portable Bluetooth speaker. Perfect for bringing music really anywhere you go.
Anywhere you want to be this summer, this speaker will deliver a rich, clear sound in a compact, portable design. It's perfect if you're hosting a backyard barbecue or just lounging by the pool. And it's great for relaxing at home too, the golf course. With this model, it will offer great sound quality with up to 10 hours of playtime, and that stood out in the Best Reviews testing lab. And once again, it's perfect, so don't worry about the pool or rain.
Yeah, you bring up golf course. I'm gonna throw this in my golf bag because it is easy enough to bring anywhere you go. Now, if you're someone who loves having ice on hand, check out the Dumo's Ice Maker, the countertop ice machine.
Now, this used to be an unthinkable luxury, but with this sleek ice maker, you can make your own fresh, chewable ice in just 6 minutes. You're not wasting time because it's just 6 minutes. It can produce up to 26 pounds of ice per day, and the compact size makes it perfect for your kitchen counter. Super easy to use. This has got it all.
Jacob, you had me sold there with the 6 minutes, whether you're making iced coffee, cocktails, or just need ice for your water. This machine, it is a total game changer. And for all the grill masters out there like Jacob, you're gonna love the Alpha Griller's grilling accessories set.
It's that time of year and you need every tool you can get for the grill. And with this set, you get tongs and spatulas as well as a meat thermometer and a cleaning brush. And what I love about it is that it's got a premium stainless steel design, ensuring durability, and the ergonomic handle will make it even easier whether you're making burgers, veggies, seafood. These tools will help you cook like a pro.
Yeah, a perfect gift for all the dads out there. Let's get a look at all 4 products one last time. Take out your phone and scan the QR code on your screen and get ready to scan, shop, and save with epic discounts by bestreviews.com.
Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. You can find more on the products and where to buy them on WANE.com. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed the show. And remember, you can always catch up on episodes and segments of Living Local 15 by going to WANE.com, downloading the WANE app, and also checking us out on YouTube. And I'll leave you with this. Dreams are meant to be followed. Risks are meant to be taken. Don't just dream about it, be about it. And I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.